Welcome to Parents Guide to Games. The games on this list are coming out the week of October 25th, 2016. First up is Darksiders Warmastered Edition. This is coming out on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Wii U, and PC. The rating is mature. The content descriptors are blood and gore, intense violence, suggestive themes. This is an action-adventure game in which players assume the role of War, a horseman of apocalypse caught in a conflict between heaven and hell. As players explore a post-apocalyptic environment, they use swords, synths, and pistols to kill demonic and angelic creatures in melee-style combat. Blood splatter effects occur frequently as monsters are killed. Finishing attacks are sometimes highlighted by slow-motion effects and close-up camera angles. The next game is Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse 2. This is coming out on Xbox One and PlayStation 4. The rating is teen. The game is set in a series of 3D battle arenas mostly modeled after notable locations in the Dragon Ball universe. Players are able to freely traverse the new hub world. Xenoverse will be the fourth Dragon Ball video game to feature character customization. Players will also choose from the 5 races of the first game: humans, Saiyans, Majins, Namekins, and Frieza's race. The game will also feature race-specific quests, minigames, and transformations. Players will also have a much greater role in the story, as some decisions will have to be made by them. Multiplayer servers are now available to hold up to 300 players at once. The game is also have a training mode called Training School, and when customizing a character, there will be options to choose different kinds of Kaya Blasts. Just Dance 2017 is next. This is coming out on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Wii U, Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, Wii, and PC. The rating is everyone 10 and up. The content descriptors are mild lyrics. This is a rhythm and dance simulation game in which players perform choreographed routines by following the movements of on-screen characters. Players score points by accurately moving their bodies in time to the music and scrolling indicators. Some songs contain suggestive references, and other song lyrics contain allusions to violence and alcoholic references. Next up is Nobunaga's Ambition Sphere of Influence Ambition. This is coming out on PlayStation 4 and PC. The rating is teen. The content descriptors are mild blood, mild language, and violence. This is a strategy game in which players develop their clan in order to take over feudal Japan via military and diplomatic means. From a top-down perspective, players arrange military units and naval fleets around the battlefield to expand their territory. Zoomed-in views depict small soldiers in combat accompanied by battle cries, sword-clanging sounds, and explosions. Cutscenes include more instances of violence, soldiers shooting rifles at charging enemies, soldiers engaging in hand-to-hand combat, a character dying inside a burning building. One sequence depicts a riverbed stained with blood after an ambush. The word bastard also appears in the dialogue. Now we'll talk about World of Final Fantasy. This is coming out on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation Vita. The rating is everyone 10 and up. The content descriptors are alcoholic references, fantasy violence, mild language, and suggestive themes. This is a role-playing game in which players help a set of twins recover their lost memory. As players explore a magical world, they can collect and raise fantasy creatures called Miragis to help traverse environments and battle enemy creatures in a turn-based combat. Players use weapon attacks and magical abilities to defeat enemies. Battles are accompanied by impact sounds and mild explosions. A handful of sequences also depict additional acts of violence. A vampire stabbed in the chest with a stake, characters tumbled to dust in fiery blast. The game contains some suggestive materials, female characters and outfits that reveal moderate amounts of cleavage. The game also includes a brief reference to alcohol in character's description, and the word hell appears in the dialogue. Let's talk about Yomawari's Night Alone. This is coming out on PlayStation Vita and PC. The rating is teen. The content descriptors are blood and violence. This is an adventure game in which players assume the role of a young heroine looking for her missing sister and a dog in a haunted town. From a 3/4 overhead perspective, players can explore the town, avoid evil spirits, and collect items to put spirits to rest. The game contains dark thematic elements and depictions of violence. A dog hit by a truck, a girl run down by a train, a girl attacked and killed by ghostly apparitions. Stylized blood splatter effects occur when players are killed. Some areas depict bloodstains on the ground. Next up is The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Special Edition, or just Skyrim as most people call it. This is coming out on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. The rating is mature. The content descriptors are blood and gore, intense violence, sexual themes, and use of alcohol. This is an HD remake of an already released game. This is a fantasy role-playing game in which players assume the role of Devokin, a prophesized figure with powers to combat dragons in a fictional world of Skyrim. As players traverse through mountainous open-world environments, they compete in missions and quests that impact the eventual fate of their character. Players use swords, bows and arrows, axes, and magic attacks to kill various enemies. As players engage in melee-style combat, some sequences are highlighted by slow-motion effects. Large blood splatter effects also occur during combat, and some environments are stained with blood or body parts. Some sequences allow players to kill or injure non-adversary characters, including prisoners chained to the wall. They scream in pain amid slashes of blood and fire. As the game progresses, the dialogue and on-screen text contain references to sexual material. Alcohol such as wine, mead, and ale can be purchased and consumed by players' characters throughout the game. In one sequence, players engage in drinking contests with another character, which eventually results in slurred speech. The last game on our list is Titanfall 2. This is coming out on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. The rating is mature. The content descriptors are blood and gore, language, and violence. This is a first-person shooter in which players assume the role of a militia pilot through missions on an alien planet. As players traverse various battlefields, they use machine guns, shotguns, grenades, rocket launchers, and a mechanical battle armor called Titans to destroy robot sentries and kill enemy soldiers. Battles are frequented and accompanied by realistic gunfire, radio chatter, and large explosions. Some weapons cause enemies to explode in large sprays of blood, chunks of flesh. Large bloodstains will sometimes appear on walls and floor, and the word shit is heard in the dialogue. Thank you to bensound.com for the music track. You can also follow Parents Guide to Game on Twitter at parentsg2g. We also have a daily blog at parentsg2g.blogspot.com, and you can email us with questions, concerns, or comments at parentsg2g@gmail.com. And thank you for watching.